Hey everybody, this is Johnny Gioeli from Hardline, Axel Rudy Pell, Crush 40, and so many other projects. 95 albums. Can you believe that? But you're watching me right here on CMS TV. Rock out, people.
I'll tell you who does care, though. And this guy needs to shut his fucking mouth. This is one of your favorites. I like him, too. Musically. John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Did you catch... Well, first of all, I know you didn't watch any of this, but I'll give you the backstory before I show you what this fucking moron said.
Okay.
So, last week and a half, whatever... The Indiana Pacers, the basketball team,
right,
were in the, I don't know if it's the final. I don't watch basketball, so I don't know if it's the finals or the semifinals or whatever against the New York Knicks.
Okay.
And when they went to, I guess, New York, the fans booed not only the players, but gave the people wearing Indiana gear a hard time.
Okay, well,
now not fist fighting or nothing, just gave them a hard time, booing them and whatnot.
Just kind of razzing them. You know, you're in our backyard here, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently that is not right for John Mellencamp.
Okay,
he had to make a stand. Or maybe this was in Indiana. I think maybe this was in Indiana. Let me refresh. This happened after the Indianapolis game in Indianapolis, not in New York.
Okay.
So they were booing Knicks players and Knicks fans wearing Knicks gear.
So the Indiana people were acting out.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and John, Little Pink House's Mellencamp doesn't like this at all. Feels like he needed to step in and solve the problem.
Well, he is a big sports fan. I know that. I know he's a very, very active sports fan, likes the basketball and so on and so forth.
He obviously doesn't understand fandom, though. You give the other team's fans and players hell.
Yeah, of
course.
That's
what you do. That is what makes home field advantage. Well,
that's why they call it a rivalry.
Yes. You make it difficult to come there and play.
Right, of course.
You're an extra player, more or less. Or that's what it tries to be. But this guy doesn't like it. Just like he doesn't like anything with Donald Trump. He doesn't like anything with giving New York people the business.
Okay.
This is what he said. The Knicks-Pacers games have been very entertaining for anyone who likes basketball or sports. I attended Game 4 in Indianapolis. Hoosier Hospitality. I was embarrassed when somebody, under whose direction I don't know, called out some of the people who had made the trip from New York to support their team, and in turn support our team. The audience booed these people. I'd say that was not Hoosier Hospitality. One could only say it's poor sportsmanship. I was not proud to be a Hoosier, and I've lived here my entire life. On behalf of most Hoosiers, so now he's speaking for most people.
He's speaking for everyone.
Well, you live in Indiana.
Well,
I guess he's speaking for you, too.
Yeah, well, again, I'm not a basketball fan, or I don't consider myself a Hoosier.
Well, you live there.
I live here, but I'm, not from here. But okay, but go ahead.
Well, on behalf of most Hoosiers, I would like to apologize for our poor behavior. I'm sure the Pacers had nothing to do with this smackdown. John Mellencamp.
So, let's see.
Shut up.
Let's see. I was embarrassed when somebody under whose direction I don't know called out some of the people who had made the trip from New York to support their team and in turn support our team. What does that mean?
Means people booed people in Yankee gear, or New York Knicks gear. More than likely, I don't know this to be true. And again, I don't watch basketball, but I know the Knicks have like famous fans. You know, like the Lakers have Jack Nicholson that shows up at every game and whatever. Doesn't like Spike Lee, and doesn't he show up to every one of these games?
Okay.
Like celebrities, because they're from New York.
He's one of these guys like a Spike Lee. He'll like actually run up and down the sideline during the action because he's such a nutbag about it.
An idiot. Well, I'm willing to bet you that they showed these guys on the Jumbotron or something.
Okay.
And they got booed.
All right.
Because they're Knicks fans.
Yeah.
And they're supporting the Knicks. It's a playoff game.
Yeah,
you're supposed to boo the other team and the other fans. Don't make them comfortable.
Yeah, but this is just rivalry. That's all it is. I mean, if you were just getting into being abusive or something, or accosting somebody because they're supporting a rival team, that's one thing. But just kind of booing and jeering and that kind of stuff, that's just normal.
Short of running onto the court and pushing somebody down or fighting or throwing shit at the players or whatever, what is the problem here?
There is no problem.
He's just a overstepping idiot, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't quite get the reason why he felt the need to, make a comment, unless of course his chick is from New York or something.
Yeah, even if she is. Well, I mean, he's from Indianapolis, but apparently he thinks he's the ambassador of Indianapolis.
Well, apparently so. I mean, he is probably one of the most famous Indiana residents,
Yeah. Just go sing your songs,
I don't understand the making apologies for what is normal in sports rivalry.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. He's just an arrogant douche.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to go sing ROCK in the USA and shut the fuck up.
Right.
Tell me your little ditty about Jack and Diane. That's what I want to hear from you. Not your commentary on Yankee or Knicks fans being treated
So
better.
where was this posted?
Instagram, I believe.
Okay. All right.
The important places.
Right, of course.
Up on social media somewhere. But what a douchebag. Just shut up.
Yeah, I just don't see that as being a necessary thing to, admonish people for ginning up the whole sports rivalry thing.
Yeah, it's what nothing.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the playoffs, that's really what you do. In the playoffs, you try that much harder to make it more difficult for those players. Those players, that audience, you want them to be uncomfortable so that they don't just settle in and, and be comfortable in your arena. It should be tougher. There should be more on their mind. That's what gives you the home court advantage, is that there's more to think about.
Right.
And more feelings. Mellencamp's just it drives me. Now, I know you're a bigger fan than I am, but I like Mellencamp too. He's another one. I just don't want to listen to him anymore.
Well,
because he's such a douche.
Yeah, well, he and Bruce Springsteen are definitely, on par when it comes to, their social activism and their viewpoints and so on and so forth.
It's the Motley Crue album that shocked the world. 1994's self-titled release with its brand new sound and brand new voice in John Corabi. Fans were divided, critics were stunned, and the label pulled the plug. But for some, including rock critic Chris Akin, it was a game changer. In his latest book, Chris Akin takes you on a journey through this polarizing album, sharing his personal experiences and the impact it had on the rock scene. Love it or hate it, you can't ignore it. Get your copy now at chrisakin.net or on Amazon.
Well, it's like I watched a movie yesterday. A rare time that I watch a new movie, but I watched a new movie yesterday called the ALTO KNIGHTS. I don't know if you've heard of this movie or not. It's This will shock you. It's a mob movie starring Robert De Niro. I know that's a stretch.
I know.
A mob movie with Robert De Niro. But I quite literally hated it. It was very long. It was like over 2 hours long. It was boring. It just was all It was about the Genovese family,
Okay.
and Frank Costello. And for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't research to find out why. I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell me. De Niro is so great that they had to have him playing both Vito Genovese and Frank Costello.
Okay.
So through half the movie, they'd have him sitting at a table, and it was clearly the cut green screen bullshit that they do,
Right.
to do that kind of shit. Or you're looking at him through, like, you see the back of the one guy's head while you're seeing the other guy talking, so you can't tell that it's a double or whatever. It was just a shit movie. It really was not very good. And I love mob movies. And I finished the movie, finished watching it, came away disappointed. And I thought, though, do I really hate this movie, or do I hate this movie because it's Robert De Niro and I can't stand him anymore?
Yeah, because he's such a nut job when it comes to his political and social views anymore, and just being so outspoken and just coming off like a raving lunatic,
like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, did I hate this movie because he's such a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Or do I hate it because it's a bad movie?
Yeah. So your viewpoint on Robert De Niro is now tainted.
Yes, I think it is. And I don't want it to be. I don't want to be like Seth always says on the Seth Show. I can't ever watch another one of his movies because he hates Donald Trump. And I'm not that. I could
that's
a shit.
Taking it a little too far. I mean, do you think that you could watch Casino or Goodfellas and still enjoy that?
Well, he says he can't. He says he can't.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, of course I can. Dude, if I was of the opinion that I couldn't watch the movies because of the politics, I wouldn't even have watched this movie. I'd have been like, Robert De Niro ×2. Fuck that. I'm not watching that. No, I watched it and it wasn't very good. And I listened to, I still listen to Mellencamp. I still listen to Springsteen. I still listen to Queensryche, even though Todd LaTorre's a fucking left-leaning idiot. I will still listen to these guys musically because, quite honestly, and this is only me, and I know everybody's different, but I don't give them enough weight, like in my life. They're just lights on my screen. Yeah, and I don't know Robert De Niro. I'm never going to know Robert De Niro, even if I meet him one day. I'm going to shake his hand and go, hey, how you doing? And that's going to be the end of my meeting with Robert De Niro. I'm never going to be like, hey, man, let's go have a beer. Let's sit down. I don't know him. He's a fucking light on my screen. When my screen is on, he might be dancing around on it or doing whatever the fuck he does. And that's fine. But I'm not going to give him any weight. I'm not going to give him any importance. I'm not going to spend any money on him either because I do think that he's, partly responsible for tearing down the country with his fucking activism. But I'll certainly watch his movies for free.
Right.
Why not?
Hey, you can watch Bad Grandpa.
Yeah, Bad Grandpa or The Fockers.
Yeah.
I don't hate Robert De Niro. I don't, but But as a real person, he doesn't exist to me. He's just he's an AI as far as I'm concerned. They're all AIs. If I don't know them, they don't really exist.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just blips on the screen.
I agree.
So.
I mean, that's obvious, as you pointed out. I mean, I never liked Mellencamp's politics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, never have, but I've seen him.
Yeah.
Boy, at least a dozen times or more. I've met him.
I just hate that now you can't go see him because he overloads with the politics.
Yeah, of course.
Same with Springsteen.
I mean, again, these guys, these entertainers, they just need to leave their personal politics out of their performance. because there's more than just your people who agree with your viewpoint that are there to hear you sing or perform or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
And you're just alienating a good portion of your audience.
Yeah, I saw Joan Jett was piping up this week about she feels bad that we live in such a terrible country and blah, 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 blah. It's like, shut up, guy haircut. Just shut up. Another one, just shut up. Sing I Love Rock and Roll. Sing Crimson and Clover. Sing the other 10 songs nobody knows and get off the stage. Does she have more songs than that? I've never understood the appeal to having her open a show. Because there's a bunch of songs you don't know. Bad Reputation. Bad Reputation, Crimson and Clover, and I Love Rock and Roll. Do you know any more?
Not
Off the
really.
top of your head, do you know?
No, not.
Can you name one?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's out there now saying what a bad place this is to be. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, go live in Ireland with Rosie O'Donnell and what's her name? The former comedian.
Former comedian.
Ellen.
Oh, Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, go live over in some other country where it's so much better.
Yeah, go back to opening for Motley Crue playing songs you don't like. Ugh.
Yeah, you've enjoyed a 60-year career in music from performing in this terrible country.
Yeah, not giving any of that money back though.
No,
I'll keep the money, but it's still a scary place to live.
Yeah,
shut it.
Scary. That's the other thing. I see that all the time. I see that term all the time. This is really scary.
Yeah.
There's scary times. This is scary. It's like,
so
stop with the scary.
You're
Stop
making it scary. There's nothing scary.
This is really frightening.
Yeah.
What's going on now is just frightening.
Yeah.
Right?
It is frightening. So what? Where were you guaranteed a life that's not a little bit scary? Look, I'll be the first one to admit, and I get bagged on all the time because I say this, but I do not like going downtown Cleveland anymore.
Yeah, well,
it's a dangerous place.
It is. It is a dangerous place. Chicago is a dangerous place.
Yeah, but I got beat up on as recently as Thursday by John. John called me about something, and he was saying, I think it's funny that you're always talking about that it's scary to go downtown. I was like, it is fucking scary to go downtown. I don't want to get shot downtown, period. And there are a lot of people that are getting shot downtown. If that makes me a pussy, then so be it. I'm a fucking pussy.
Yeah, I mean,
don't care.
Why go somewhere where the potential is higher to be accosted or robbed or shot or, why would you do that, voluntarily if you already
For what
know?
Purpose? Yeah.
If you already know what the circumstances are, why wouldn't you avoid that?
Mm-hmm. No, I just avoid it because I prefer not to put myself in the way of a bullet. I'm a wide target. I'm easy to hit. I'd prefer not to catch lead. I've already caught molten lead. I don't want to catch hardened lead.
Right.
No, thank you.
It's the album that shocked the world, Judas Priest's Turbo. In 1986, when heavy metal embraced the glam of hair metal, Judas Priest followed suit, unleashing Turbo. It divided fans, rocked MTV, and sparked controversy that still echoes today. In Cause and Effect Turbo, Chris Akin dives deep into the making of this polarizing album, sharing insider stories and personal memories from that explosive era. Whether you loved it or you hated it, Turbo left its mark on heavy metal history. Relive the controversy. Get your copy now at chrisakin.net or on Amazon.